Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Brewing with Jim. My name is Joseph Jasper. This is a show where we get questions from our audience about life, and we try to provide answers. Usually, the main provider of those answers or the wisdom is the man sitting across from me right now. I'm with Jim Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I at least trigger the answers to these, and then Joseph and I interact. But the idea here is that Jim has been on the planet a lot longer than most of us and has more experience.
He, in many cases, has asked these questions himself, perhaps.
And I can also say, and you know this, that most of the wisdom, as it comes from my mouth, is mostly from God's Word, from the Bible.
Yeah, that's right.
It is. A lot of experience, though, in how to apply that wisdom to life, and that's what we do here.
That's what we're here for. I love it. Our question today, similar to the question we had last week, where, it refers to, like, as an adult, last week it was, how do I make friends as an adult? This week, our question, is it normal to grow more distant to our parents as adults?
Well, yes, it is, and we need to define some terms. But I think the answer is going to be relatively simple.
Yeah.
If the question is asked because there is concern that I am not as close to my parents as I used to be, or there is concern from the parents that our child is not as close to us as we used to be, I would give comfort to you in saying, we don't know that that's true just because the characteristics of the relationship has changed.
That's right.
When a child is born, they are dependent almost 100% on the parents.
And as having two young ones at home, I can confirm.
Right. Well, it's not just it's dependent upon the parents, because without the parent or someone to care for them, the child will die.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that dependence and that closeness, if that word is okay, I don't really like it, but if that closeness is going to be intense, and the frequency of the interaction is every 10 minutes, it's very intense. As the child grows to adulthood and gets married, that dynamic will change. And now the kid is 5 years old and goes to school. And so there is some grief and relief. Grief and relief, by the way, are cousins. They usually show up together. Yeah. There is some relief from mom, especially. Oh, now the kid's out of here for a few hours. Yes. Yeah. And the relationships of the parent to the child is less frequent by a small increment.
Yeah.
And that less frequency increment increases as the child gets older and older and goes through teenage years, and then goes to college, and there is geographical separation unless the child lives at home while he's going to college. Just be comfortable, Clifton, ask her. Be comfortable that the characteristics of the relationship, the frequency of the interaction with the people in the relationship, parent and child, is going to change.
Yeah.
And that's desirable. You want that to happen.
That's right.
It is the father's responsibility, in my mind, and I think I can back it and argue it biblically, that we are, as fathers, working to make the child less dependent upon us and more dependent on the Heavenly Father.
Absolutely.
And the mother, who the father wants to protect the child too, of course, the mother really has a strong built-in desire to protect the child.
Absolutely.
The mother, in my experience, has been less frequent to let go. And let the child be on its own. Okay, the relationship does change. That's okay.
It has to. It will.
It changes. The child gets married. Now the frequency of interchange, that's what I'm saying, as closeness, is with the spouse.
That's right.
And then with the two who are married and their children.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, things change.
That's right.
Let go, mom and dad, and let the things change. What we don't let go of is the covenant that we are committed to you and we love you. And when that is a constant.
Absolutely.
It is not to be diluted, but the manifestation of the love will change.
That's absolutely true.
Okay, there we are until the child, now married, now with children. The children are growing older. They're going through the same observations of what's happening here until the parents become elderly. And if they are on earth and alive and elderly, they may become dependent upon the child.
That's right.
And that's normal. And the child's responsibility there, this is biblical, honor your father and mother, is to take care of the parents.
Yeah.
And that may be desirable or undesirable. It's desirable if there is a faith in Christ, because that nature of the parent has changed, and the good deeds aren't an obligation. They are a result of our nature.
That's right.
In faith. And we take care. It's the manifestation of love.
Yeah.
Okay. All that
I love it.
Is to say, yes, it is normal for the relationship characteristics to change. We do not become less close. We just manifest our love in a different way.
I love that, as even maybe as like that could work as the summary statement too. Introduction and conclusion is right there. I love the distinction between acknowledging that the relationship is going to change. It will.
It will.
It has. I mean, it just has to. There's no getting around that. But the love remains. It just is manifested differently. This is, of course, by the way, we should acknowledge, this is all assuming what we would call perhaps a really healthy relationship.
I did make that assumption.
A really healthy family. There are a lot of people, we want to acknowledge this, that have unhealthy relationships with their parents.
Yes.
For a variety of reasons, that may be the case. Perhaps they have no relationship with their parents.
Yes.
That kind of thing exists, of course.
But the supposition of the question is that I do have a relationship with my parents. And
perhaps may be growing distant in some way. The fact that you're asking, is it normal to grow distant from my parents, kind of implies that you might feel that you are growing distant from your parents.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. But I don't know that it's within the realm of this question to talk about children who have no parents to have a relationship with, or they have dysfunctional parents, which is essentially the same as having no parents. Yeah. Except dysfunctional parents can carry negative power. That's where having no parents doesn't really have a negative power, but it has a negative effect.
Yes. Yeah.
That's another episode. Probably.
Of course. Yeah.
But sure, yes. What about friendships? Is it normal for a friendship to grow less distant if the commitment is there? And in my mind, the commitment is best if stated with each other. Yeah. You don't have to have a wedding to have a friendship.
Sure.
But you have a defined commitment to each other.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Then that relationship will change too.
Yeah.
There are many relationships that are come and go relationships. My relationship with a teacher is for a year or for 4 years that I happen to bump into the same teacher.
Yeah.
And then that's over with.
Yeah.
And I have memories of the teachers. I don't have a lot of interaction with the teachers. Yeah. So all these relationships are very different.
That's right.
Question here specified parent and child.
Yeah.
And I think we addressed it.
Absolutely. Another thing that has come to mind in the last minute or two for me is perhaps it's worth defining what distance even means, because distance can be a lot of things. It could be geographic, and I think that's the most literalistic way of reading into it. I don't assume that's what the question asker is asking. Is it?
Well, I think it wasn't, but that can be a factor.
Yeah, is it normal to grow distant from my parents geographically? Like, yeah, probably. You're not going to live under their roof probably for your whole life.
No, but it's not a good idea to move in next door either.
Well, yeah,
And people sometimes do that.
kind of an Everybody Loves Raymond situation. If you've seen that show,
Yes.
yeah, and yeah, geographically being distanced from your parents is a normal thing for the vast majority of people,
Right.
Including for some people going out of state, out of the country, like severe distance. But I think the definition of distance in this question might be more social almost. It might be more interactive.
Well, people often confuse love with emotion and the intensity of the emotion or the frequency of the interaction and so forth. It's okay. Please relax and tell yourself it's okay to not have an intense emotional feeling about the other person the whole time.
Yeah.
The commitment is the covenant is the idea, and the covenant of love is the idea.
Yeah.
And that will vary in its emotional intensity.
Yeah.
And so if the idea here in the question was, I don't have the same emotional intensity or the frequency of interaction. Am I growing distant? No, you're not necessarily growing distant. Yes, we can define distance in a whole bunch of different ways.
Yeah.
Relax in that if you love your parents and you're interactive with your parents, then that relationship is going on.
That's right.
The extreme dynamic is that when you are a baby, your parents will change your diaper. And the other end of that is you will change your parents' diaper when they are elderly and feeble. Go with it.
Yeah.
Go with it. It's just the circle of life.
It's the circle of life, Indy. I was just going to say the circle of life.
Break out in a song here.
Yeah, that idea of like almost conversational, like I could imagine someone asking this question, defining it almost in terms of like, we kind of run out of things to talk about, like I can't talk to my parents about things anymore, or, I don't share with my parents this or that anymore. Things got weird. I don't know. Like there's a lot of ways I could imagine that going. And those aren't things that I've been able to say about myself in my own relationship with my parents. But I hear people talk about their parent. I hear different people talk about their parents in those ways of like, it could be anything from, they don't like who I'm dating. So I get the feeling that they're kind of like shutting us off, all the way to like, my dad watches cable news all day and his mind is shot. And so I can't talk to him about, anything because of that, like there's a lot of different dynamics that could exist that pull one or both of the sides apart. I think that's kind of what this question is getting at if I had to read into it, but I can't be sure, of course.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I think we answered the question.
I think so.
It didn't take a lot of time, as it does in most episodes.
Yeah. So to summarize, distance is normal, but distance could also mean a lot of things.
Yes.
Geographic distance being the most literal reading into it, also consequently the most normal distance that comes to exist between you and your parents. As far as emotional, conversational distance, I just think that's going to depend a lot on you and on your parents' personalities.
Well, let me add another factor here. It is the commitment of a relationship is to be with each other.
Yeah.
And in whatever way that be with each other means, there is not a requirement when I, as an adult child, go to my parents' house and I sit there and catch them up on everything and exchange a lot of information. It's possible, and I would say even preferable in some cases, to just be there.
Yeah.
Just be there. Show up and shut up. And that's okay. You see, from time to time, two people who appear to have been married for a long time sitting in a restaurant not speaking to each other.
Yeah.
It's not important that they not speak to each other. It's important that they are together.
Yeah.
And that they are enjoying the presence of the other person without forcing some sort of chat that goes back and forth and interchange. So that's important too. And that can be done by the child and the parent, even if there is geographical distance, just by being on the phone, maybe.
Absolutely.
And you don't have to chatter the whole time you're on the phone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I love it. Great place to end. We're going to jump to our second segment, which is the surprise Jim segment. A question that Jim does not know ahead of time. And Jim, the question today is it's going to put you back in your shoes as a child, just like middle of your childhood.
Buster Brown shoes.
There you go. I'm going to laugh and pretend I know what those are. No. No. I want to know,
oh my God,
when you were a kid, were you a kid that wanted to stay a kid forever, or could you not wait to grow up?
Oh no, I wanted to grow up. I wanted to be big. I wanted to be mature. No, I didn't like being a kid.
Really?
No,
at all?
I did not like being a kid. And I wanted to be, how long does this phase last? It seems to me like it's lasting forever. Well, for me, it was forever.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, but no. I wanted to be, I wanted to be grown up, which I think in my limited mind at the time meant I want to be bigger. I want to be
physically larger. Yeah.
I did not think about maturity. I didn't think about adult responsibilities. I didn't think about
no one does.
Marriage, kid, family. I was just a little kid.
Yeah.
And I knew this can't be it. This is not the best. No, that's an easy one for me to answer.
Yeah, I love it.
Buster Brown shoes.
Tell me. Talk to me.
That was a shoe company, and they made these. We all wore them. They were brown, most of them, I think. All mine were. And they're just leather shoes. You tie them on. Well, when you go to the, Joseph, listen.
I'm listening.
You go to the Buster Brown shoe store, and you had to stand on a machine, and you stuck your feet into openings at the bottom of the machine, and they would X-ray your foot and shoe and see what. Oh, yes, those are Buster Brown. Oh, that's an advance. He's showing me.
I just pulled up a picture.
These shoes on his computer that are, there's a name for those. What are they? Those Oxfords of some sort.
They've got white on the toes and the heels.
Yeah,
and then
they're
black.
black with colorful shoelaces. Keep searching Buster Brown shoes, or they had the machines that you put your foot in. Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
Yes, now he's
this is
showing you the brown shoes with the brown laces, and that's it. Those are Buster Brown shoes.
Buster Brown Rocky leather shoes.
This is not good for our listening audience. You can search this.
Search it yourself. Google images, Buster Brown shoes, first result.
See if you can find a picture of that machine where we put our feet in.
Oh,
and then it was decided that this isn't good for the feet of the kids, and they got rid of the machines. But that's it.
Yep.
That's it. There is a wooden stair step machine with handles of steel, I guess, at the top that are parallel and about a foot apart. And you hold onto those and you reach up, and that black hole right there is where you put your feet. And you can see at the top there are guidelines for the eyes. You put your eyes down into the machine, and the parents and the salesman can see how the fit is.
Oh,
that was okay. You said something about putting your self in your shoes when you were a child. As Buster Brown was the first thing that came to mind.
I had no idea that these machines existed.
Well, they don't anymore.
Well, I mean,
can you imagine X-raying all day long and you just no, that was not
X-ray shoe fitting. I'm looking at an ad from probably the 50s.
Yes.
Anyway, X-ray shoe fitting. There's no guesswork when fitting shoes at Sears.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Wow.
You can see the whole foot in there, and now what do we do now? We just see if it fits right and walk around a little bit.
Your children benefit most of all. In fact, it's dangerous to have your child's shoes fitted in any other way. How ironic is that?
Very, because it was dangerous to do it in that way. And every other way is not dangerous.
Funny. Do you feel like life has been, just to pivot to a little bit follow up, do you feel like life has been more enjoyable as an adult than as a kid?
Yes, but more challenging too, and more difficulties, more problems, more concerns, just because everything has expanded.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to worry about income and food and shelter and clothing.
Buster Brown shoes.
And when I was a child, but I didn't like being little.
Yeah.
I didn't like being that small.
Yeah.
In an adult world. And there was, from my dad, a desire that I be adult immediately. I did not have a lot of playtime. Now, I'm telling you, he played catch with me. We played baseball together. We had fun together and so forth. But I was directed from a very young age to use correct table manners, to use correct English, to be proper, to behave properly when I was in an adult home that wasn't ours, and so forth. All those expectations, as I look back, were given to me in love, but they were really tough on a little tiny kid. I didn't have a lot of freedom to be a kid. And so I am one now.
There you go.
And I got back on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's wonderful.
All right.
Sounds good. All right. Well,
It makes this a short episode, but that's okay too.
fine. It's about parenthood, about childhood. It's just it's a fun. It's a pure coincidence that happened with these two questions being paired on the same episode, but kind of
Two episodes.
makes a nice. I mean this first segment
And this
of the parent distance question, and then the second segment about childhood.
right.
Makes for a fun kind of package, I think. So, thank you for listening. We have, as always, we want to close out with an invitation to our audience that if you have any questions for us, or if you just want to share your story, where you're listening from, anything like that, we have an email address that is set up called brewingwithjim@gmail.com.
Right.
We check that all the time for new questions and things like that. Again, it's brewingwithjim@gmail.com.
Please use it.
Yeah. With that, friends, that's the end of another episode.
Yep.
And we'll see you back next week.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
The topics that are covered and the answers that are offered during episodes of Brewing with Jim are designed to mine the wisdom attained from a life of pastoral ministry and care. They do not constitute professional or clinical training or expertise in the areas of counseling or mental health. CVCS and its podcast network want to provide a platform for the discipleship of our community. Brewing with Jim is our attempt to foster that environment in a format that is accessible for everyone to participate in. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed during the show are the speaker's own, and they may or may not represent the views, thoughts, or opinions of Capistrano Valley Christian Schools or its faculty. The material and information presented here is for general information purposes only. This episode has been a production of the Capistrano Valley Christian Schools Podcast Network. Capistrano Valley Christian Schools is a Christian JK-12 school in San Juan Capistrano, California. Be sure to check out, subscribe to, and leave a review of this show and the other shows on our network on your podcast player of choice. Doing so supports the school community in a multitude of ways. For more information about the CVCS Podcast Network or any of our other shows, check out cvcs.org or email podcasts@cvcs.org. On behalf of the whole network, this is Mr. Jasper saying thank you again for listening and stay tuned for more.